We've got a great crowd. Obviously, it's going to be a great night for us. I want to welcome everybody. My name's Scott Kilgallen, Director of Athletics. I want to, first of all, for those of you at the basketball games today, our women's and men's basketball team played phenomenal. Coach Bunch, 1.1 seconds left in the game. They were down by 1. They pulled it off. Our women's team is in the hunt for first place, so it's a good day to be a Gorlock today. Great evening tonight. You'll hear some great speakers, some great people. With our soon-to-be Hall of Famers with Scott, Paul, Alex, Jeff, and Molly. Molly could not make it here tonight. Hopefully she's watching live stream. She's in Colorado. I also want to welcome Pioneer Award winner Marion Dooling McIntyre, who will hear from Marion shortly. And we've got a lot of family, friends, and alumni. We really appreciate you coming out for this to honor all of our folks getting inducted this evening. This event, as I mentioned, is also being streamed live for family, friends who couldn't make it here this evening. The significance of this event, right off the bat, I can tell you we've got some VPs here. Starting off with our president, Dr. Beth Strobel. Very busy schedule. We'll hear from Beth later, but thank you for being here, President. And I believe Director Patty Arnold will be here as well. And we also have Laura Turek, who's Director of Alumni Programs. We'll see Laura a little bit later. Thank you, Laura. We also have Dr. Rosalind Grant, Alumni Board President. Welcome to her as well. Professor Ralph Ologies, I want to thank you for being here. Scott Jensen, our Faculty Athletic Rep. And we have, that I know of, 3 Hall of Famers in attendance this evening. If you just stand and wave briefly, we've got Marty Tote. Crystal Shelton Spinner. And Mike Hutchinson. I do want to give a quick thank you for the Hall of Fame committee. They spent a lot of time pulling together this group of inductees, and they got it right. We have some exceptional individuals this evening. So for all of our Hall of Fame committee members, thank you for your work behind the scenes. Appreciate you. And my athletic staff, they've been going all day with basketball games, if not coaching, working, and being here this evening. I've said this before, this is my 3rd institution. This is the best staff I've ever worked with. So my staff, thank you for everything with that. And Professor Larry Fura, where is Larry? Right here. Special thank you to Larry. He not only is a good supporter of our program, goes to all of our games, and the Wall of Fame, which we put into play 3 years ago as a result of Larry's generous donation in memory of his wife, Pam. So Larry, thank you very much for that. And last but not least, Gabe, I see, is escaping here, but Michael has been playing the piano for us this evening. Former student athlete, basketball player. Gabe, thank you very much for making this event. I'd like to move on now to the Athletics Pioneer Award. We initiated this award in 2014. This is Laura Turek's charge to identify somebody for this award. And this year's award winner was an easy choice given her many accomplishments and groundbreaking impact for women's sports. It's also important to recognize folks before we became an NCAA program who broke grounds to enjoy what we're enjoying today. So we're really excited to have you this evening. I want to thank you as well. With that, it's my great pleasure to introduce our president, Dr. Beth Strobel, along with Laura Turek, and we will present the Pioneer Award.
Well, thank you, Scott, and I want to thank everyone who has been part of putting this event together tonight. As I watched the opening ceremonies for the Olympics last night, I had to think about what kind of an army of people it must take to assemble all of the spectacle that comes with that, much less hosting so many athletes and ambassadors from around the world. But even on our scale tonight, we know that we didn't come together without people doing a lot of work and organizing, and this really, Laura Turek and I agree, this is one of the really significant and lovely and heartfelt alumni recognitions that we do, and it is wonderful. So I'm really thrilled that in 2015, the university and the athletic department decided to start having the Pioneer Award. That was the year that we celebrated Webster's centennial. And so that was a fitting time to start having a Pioneer Award. And we have told some wonderful stories about some terrific people every single year. And tonight is no exception. So it was created in 2015, and it's an exciting opportunity when we look for the Pioneer recipient to find student stories from our history and share them with you and a wider audience. Stories that are captured in photographs, yearbooks, archives. This is probably before social media. And they're remembered by former students who visit campus for their reunions. So it is these collective stories of all the students, the faculty and staff who have passed through the halls of Webster since it was founded in 1915 that come together and tell the history of a great institution. So I'll share one such story tonight. As you've already heard, we're honoring Marianne Dooley McIntyre, a Webster alumna, whose dedication to the Athletic Association, as well as to the field of physical education, is admirable. She's a Webster Groves native. She attended Holy Redeemer Grade School and Narings High School, and then began her education at Webster College in 1957. You can see why she says, "I went to school on Lockwood all my life." You barely moved several blocks, Marion. While attending Webster, she played basketball and volleyball all 4 years. She served as president of the Athletic Association. She played field hockey with other college students in Forest Park as part of the Field Hockey Association in St. Louis, and even recalls a fellow Webster student from India who played the sport barefoot. Marion graduated from Webster College in 1961 with a degree in physical education. She began to teach at St. Joseph's Academy, where she taught physical education and health for 7 years, coached the field hockey, basketball, volleyball, tennis, track, and field teams. And because the all-girls high school athletics program was not a part of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, Marion served on a committee to advocate for female high school athletics to receive the same recognition as its male counterpart. Marion's a passionate educator. She continued to teach at several schools in the Midwest, including John Hershey High School in Arlington Heights, Illinois, where she developed an adaptive physical education class for girls with special needs. Once again, she served on a committee of women who worked to allow girls' athletic programs to be recognized, this time by the Illinois High School Association. Well, after returning to her roots in St. Louis in 1984, Marion became a substitute teacher for kindergarten. What lucky kindergartners those must have been. And eventually made her way back to her very own grade school to teach 2nd grade at Holy Redeemer. Despite her busy teaching career, Marion still found time to coach her son's 5th grade basketball team and instilled a lifelong love of sports among her children, who now coach their own children's team. Upon her retirement in 2006, I don't know how you ever made the decision to retire, Marion. She continued to serve as a substitute teacher, and she began volunteering as a St. Louis Cardinals tour guide. Along with a group of fellow retirees, Marion assisted in writing the Cardinals Academic Program, an education program for children in grades 3 through 8, which continues to be offered during the off-season as a field trip opportunity for schools in Missouri and Illinois. Well, as a Webster volunteer, Marion has served as a class chair for her reunions, and as chair of the liaison committee, where she worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between today's Gorloks and the teachings and the spirit of our founding sisters of Loretto. Marion, you inspire. It's wonderful to get to tell your story, and I'm glad you and your family are here tonight. On behalf of Webster University, I want to thank you for your dedication to sharing the importance of athletics and physical education, and for making a lasting impression on Webster University athletics. As an advocate for equality, you have demonstrated that you truly are a pioneer for all of us, and particularly for women's athletics. Will you please come forward to receive the award? Thank you so much to President Webster and to the alumni board who selected me for this honor. I really had fun at Webster College. It was, I still have friends today. We meet every couple of months and have lunch. And so we're on, what is it, 57 years, I think, that we're working on that. And I was taught so much here at Mearing's, made a lot of friends, lifelong friends, and to take that knowledge and that foundation that I got here and be able to go to the schools where I taught and do the things I did, it's a wonderful blessing for me and for my family. Happy to have my son Lee here with me, and Sean, and my Aunt Mary Lee Holland Dooling, who also is a Webster alum. And just thank you to all of you for the wonderful blessing that you've given me tonight. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Mary, and thank you, President Strobel and Laura. Appreciate it. Moving on, we will go to the contemporary student athletes here. This is our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, who again in 2014 came up with an award. And I'd like to invite two of our finest student athletes here, Lauren Nelly and Matt Mulhern, if you can come up, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Mulhern. I'm a sophomore here at Webster, and I'm on the baseball team. And I am president for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, better known as SAC, around campus.
And I'm Lauren Nelly. I'm a senior on the women's soccer team, and I'm the vice president of SAC.
We're honored here tonight to being present this award. Like Scott said, it was founded in 2014, and we like to carry that tradition on. And so in 2014, like I said, we created it, and this is an annual award given to an administrator, faculty, staff member, or supporting member of the Gorlock Athletic Department. As student athletes, we recognize we would not be successful without all the support, encouragement, energy, hard work, and assistance of so many. With this in mind, SAC developed the SAC Appreciation Award, so each year we can recognize an individual who has gone above and beyond to support our athletic teams, whether it's through their presence at our sporting events, monetary contributions, or excelling at their job right here on campus.
The 2018 recipient of the SAC Appreciation Award is one of the most dedicated individuals around, but you might not even know it, because he's always behind the scenes. In the fall of 1977, this gentleman came to Webster as a student. Fast forward 40 years, and he just retired after a lifetime of bleeding blue and gold. Those 40 years at Webster saw him in roles that included admissions counselor, athletics director, director of undergraduate admissions, and finally sports information director. In his final 9 years at Webster, while serving as sports information director, he attended more games than anyone can possibly calculate and wrote nearly every story that appeared on the departmental website, while also keeping track of statistics and a myriad of other duties too long to list. That's how everyone in this room knows him. In fact, his entire career has been a love affair for Webster and the athletics department, which he helped to create. During his time in the admissions department, he not only helped to recruit student athletes, but made sure that their packages were moving through the system in a timely manner, and that everything was going well for the coaches and the recruits as they build the programs that we have today. This gentleman's fingerprints are truly all over the athletic department here at Webster. He is already being missed, but his legacy will forever live on in the program and teams that he helped to create over his 40-year career here at Webster. The 2018 SAC Appreciation Award is presented to Mr. Neil DeVasto.
Much excitement from one day versus Missouri in overtime. Then I'm watching the men's basketball game on live stats. If you've never done live stats, you don't really know what's going on. It'll just say what the score is and what the last play was. So it just shows there's a second left and you have no idea who has the ball and what's going on until the final score pops up. So that was exciting after the Missouri overtime game. And now this is my third exciting event of the day. Totally unexpected and totally appreciated. I appreciate the award. Any work I did here, I had lots of help from the coaches and the other staff members as well. Back in the early days of the program when we started it up, some particular names that I must mention. John Ehrenberg was the first SID at Webster and worked with me in my 4 years as AD, and when I moved over to take over the SID position in 2009, he was a huge help to me. He volunteered on his own and archived a lot of the university's statistical records. That's why the record books are up to date on the website and have they go back all the way to the start in the early 80s is because of John's help. I must have done something right as the AD. My last hire before I left was Marty, or at least that's who we moved over, and then Harry officially hired Marty, and Marty had a great career here. And Luigi, I don't know, Luigi you here tonight? Luigi? Luigi's been with me since the beginning too, and always been a great help, and was a great help with Marty. And then, of course, creating the women's soccer and developing that on its own too. So, had a lot of help, and the current staff included, and Scott, these past three plus years, and Mary, your 1 year is SID interim, worked with me when, unfortunately, this condition came upon me and helped me move through it and keep working at my position at the same time. So I appreciated that, Mary, as well. So thank you for thinking of me. I'm very, very honored to be up with the Hall of Famers and accept the award. Thank you.
so you don't think I'm a bad guy for putting Neil on the spot, the students want to make that award a surprise. So there we go. I think they did their job. Congratulations, Neil. Okay, we're getting ready now to move on to the Hall of Fame. And as I said earlier, this is the best of the best. Tremendous people who, as you will hear, achieve great accomplishments as student athletes and who continue to represent Webster University in a positive manner as alumni with continued success in their professional careers and personal lives. It's my great to introduce a colleague of mine who's helped me out a lot. Mary Graff, as Neil had mentioned earlier, she's our one of our administrators, senior women administrator, successful volleyball coach. She'll be helping me this evening as we induct the Hall of Famers. So, Mary?
Thanks, Scott. And Neil, I did try to lie to you. He came in and he said, "Why is my family here?" I don't have any idea. Sorry. We're going to start with Jeff Todt. So if Jeff wants to come on up, and if I can get his former coach, his father, and Hall of Famer, Marty Todt, to come join us at the podium, that would be great. So Jeff Todt was a men's soccer player for us in 1992 and 93. He was NSCAA All Central Region team both those years. He was all academic Central Region team in 93. He was SLEAC First Team All Conference in 92 and 93. Webster Athletics President Award recipient in 1994. He led Webster in scoring both seasons he played here. He's 9th on the career list for game-winning goals at Webster. He's described as the perfect scholar-athlete role model. Coach Marty Todt states, Jeff played for Webster in 1992 and 93. This was at a time when there was no NCAA automatic bid for our conference, and the only way you could get a bid to the NCAA tournament was to finish in the top 4 teams of our region, which had 86 teams at the time. He came to Webster as an all-state player, as a senior at St. Louis University High School, a junior college academic All-American, and was NSCAA Division III All-Midwest player, finishing his 2-year career, leading the team in assists and goals with 40 points. Jeff was a very talented player. He displayed a passion and love of the game that pushed the team to be the best they could be. His conviction to raise the standard by instilling productive principles, discipline, good habits, and trust was inspiring. We were ranked in the top 10 of our region and changed the program from mediocre to national recognition. I am grateful to Webster University for giving me the opportunity to coach my son." End quote. Jeff earned his BA in business in 1995. He is currently Vice President of Accounting for McBride & Sons. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff Todt.
Thank you very much. This is actually, that was quite an act to follow. Mrs. McIntyre, you know, we always talk about how small St. Louis is. You have no idea how small St. Louis is. We literally lived across the street from the McIntyres when I was growing up. I had no idea about your background. I should have taken some tips on the free throws. I'd just like to thank a few people while we're here. First of all, the university. Thank you very much. This is an incredible honor. I'm incredibly humbled by the honor. I also would like to just thank you for your commitment to sports. It's important. I think it plays a huge role in the development of thousands of individuals every year, and just the habits that we get from participating in sports are things that we live with the rest of our lives. So thank you for your commitment to the sports. I'd like to thank my teammates. I think there is one teammate here, Billy Michaels, is in attendance. Thank you for coming, Bill. It's humbling. I feel like I was a role player, a whole team of role players, really. Everybody knew their role, and I just happened to be one of the leaders of the role players. This is quite humbling. I don't feel that my career was Hall of Fame worthy, but I do appreciate the recognition. I would like to thank my family. I came from a pretty large family, my extended family. My mom and dad's families both live here in St. Louis. So they all had a huge influence on me growing up. My mom and dad obviously did. They taught me the importance of education and hard work. My mom, I'd love to call out real quick here. If it wasn't for my mom took me to so many practices and games. I would play on 3 or 4 soccer teams at one time, and she didn't miss a game. Thank you, Mom. And then after I left the university, I moseyed around for about 10 years trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And then I met my wife, Emily. And from that day on, I knew what I was going to do for the rest of my life. Marry Emily and raise a family. And I had 3 wonderful children, Audrey, James, and Abigail. They're here, sitting over there. And without them, I don't know what I would do. Then there were my coaches along the way. Abby Dunn at St. Louis University, Pat McBride, coached my club team and also my team at Forest Park, and Luigi Siri. Luigi's back here. Luigi actually was in the admissions office when I first joined Webster University and helped me get a scholarship that helped me pay for the school along the way. So thank you, Luigi. And then obviously there was my dad. And there's one thing, I was just trying to think of the coaches and what they meant to me along the way, and it was really not about the X's and O's. These guys were just men. I came up with 2 words: character and integrity. They're amazing men, and I thank them. And then there's my dad. Growing up, I was his shadow. I went everywhere with my father, and hence the influence on my soccer career. He played and he coached. He played on a team called Giannino's, sponsored by Giannino's restaurant growing up. He played indoor soccer like 20 times a week. And then he also coached. He coached Merrimack, and before he came here to Webster University, and he coached a senior team for Kudus. And I was there with him any moment I could. We always had a soccer ball in the car. So my dad and I would have this game. We would play. He would say, "I bet you can't juggle a ball 10 times." I'd say, I bet you a Coke I can, or it was a Vest soda at that time. I bet you a Vest soda I can juggle 10 times. He'd pull the car over. I'd get out of the car, somebody's front lawn in a park, wherever we were, and I would juggle the ball 10 times. And I'd say, you owe me a Vest soda. I think he still owes me about 150 Vest sodas. But no joking. He was my hero. Kids in their room, they put up posters of all these soccer players, and that's what we did when we were kids. I don't think my kids do that, but I had posters of all these soccer players and all these guys. Right in the middle of it was a picture of my dad. So over the years, obviously he coached here for 25 years, at Merrimack for 17 years, I think. I run into so many people that he influenced, and they all tell me, you have no idea the impact your father had on me. And I say, I get to live with that guy. He's my dad, So, thank you, Dad.
Congratulations, Jeff, and thank you, Marty. Great. Moving on now, we're getting ready to induct. We have Paul Zellmer, please come up, and his former coach at Webster University, Lance Brandel, please. And Lance is doing double duty. He coaches at Lindbergh, and I know, like Coach Bunch and Olson just got done with his game. So Lance, thanks for making it out here as well. Had a quick chance yesterday to talk to Paul and his parents, and I was in Wisconsin for 10 years, and the one thing that I did say to Paul is I don't miss that sub-zero weather. So I saw somebody wandering around the bookstore with a Badgers shirt on, and we wound up striking up that conversation. A little bit about Paul, men's basketball team, 1997 to 2000. He was a SLIAC first team all-conference in 1998 and 2000. He was the SLIAC second team all-conference in 1999. He is the Webster career leader in three-point field goals at 247. He's Webster's third highest career points with 1,284. Webster career top 5 in 4 other categories, and he's a member of Webster's first SLIAC championship basketball team in 2000. Coach Randall states, Paul was an extremely versatile guard. He was a tremendous passer, often wowing the fans and his teammates with no-look assists. He shot the ball with outstanding range and could heat up quickly, knocking down multiple threes on successive possessions. He had a great feel for deflections and steals on the defensive end, creating numerous key turnovers in both the half court and in the press. He was a feisty competitor with a very high basketball IQ and was one of the best guards in the SLIAC and in all of Division III, being named Honorable Mention All-American by Division III News. He has a fun-loving spirit and was a great joy to coach. His competitive nature was contagious. He was a huge part of changing the trajectory of the men's basketball program. End quote. Paul earned a BA in Business Management from Webster in 2000. He also earned his Master's of Healthcare Administration. Currently, he is the Director of Ambulatory Operations at UW-Madison Health. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paul Zemmer.
All right, thank you very much. Good to see Lance. I haven't seen Lance in a long time, so thank you very much for making the trip over. I want to start, thank you, Scott, for pulling all this together. The nominating committee for elected me, I was very excited and proud to be here. Also a little surprised, but very excited to be here. I want to start with a number of thank yous. First and foremost, my parents, Lowell and Laurel Zelmer, who are here. I couldn't be here without their never-ending support. As Jeff said, they took me everywhere. They took you to every practice. They were always there for me. I know there was a lot of doubt and concern about sending me 5 hours away to play college, to go to college and play basketball, but they never blinked an eye when Lance came into our living room and convinced us that this was a great option, or great opportunity for us to pursue. I never forget that day that he made the trip up to Janesville to let us know all about Webster University. My parents sacrificed so much for athletics and academics. I owe all my success to them. I have 2 kids very involved in sports now and understand all the sacrifice and all the time it takes to put the kids through athletics. My family support was always there. My sisters, Mary and Rachel, always traveled down to a lot of games. They'll let you know right now, and still will, that they're my biggest fans. All my family, my aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, always were around. I appreciate all support through the years. Thank you to all my coaches growing up, Dad, my high school coaches, and had a very big impact on all my basketball development. In college, I owe everything to Lance in college. He had a great offense, fit my style perfect, and he never told me not to shoot, which I didn't ever stop shooting. So it was great. I remember one time I was playing, and it was my senior year, I was playing against Bonbon, and I think I shot a few long 3-pointers, and we'll say I made them all. But we're running down, and the other guard goes, how'd your coach let you shoot so many? I don't know. Just lets me keep shooting. So it was one of those things, you look back and you know how lucky you were to be in that situation where he never put any reins on me. At least I don't remember that. Never yelled at me. So also my other coaches at Webster, Coach Cooksey, who's in the Hall of Fame here, Adam Tiger, Coach Cano. Just a quick note, most of you probably don't know who Adam Tigert is. He came down with Lance from Lloyd College for his senior year, and I'll tell you right now, he was probably the biggest reason that we turned the program around. He's a great leader. Him and Lance teamed up together and really helped us get a winning culture down here at Webster, which we'll always appreciate. Obviously, all my teammates, well, Webster, we're from all over. It looked like a little bit of a ragtag group if you see any pictures of us. We worked hard though, off season, in season, and had one goal in mind together to try to win. I also want to make sure I thank my wife Nicole, my son Olin, my daughter Reese for being so excited for this trip and joining us down here, and my nieces and nephews also. I have so many memories, so many great times at Webster. City of St. Louis, people I met inside and outside the athletic department. It was just a great experience for me. I remember a lot of post games, my family would come down, and by the time I was a senior, I became very popular after the games. My parents would take us all out to the bar and buy just platters and platters of chicken wings, and by the time I was a senior, we had a lot of cars coming down with us. So Lance took us to Hawaii my junior year. That was a phenomenal experience. And then obviously we're most proud of, we won our first conference championship for Webster, and we went to the NCAA tournament for the first time. Didn't go very far, but we made it, so that was great. Overall, Webster University was the perfect school for me. Small classes, taught by business professionals that really taught you about the real world and what I've been able to apply in my professional career. There were small classes that held you accountable to come to class, which is something I also needed back then. But overall, I'm indebted to Webster and the athletic program, and couldn't thank everyone involved enough. Thank you very much.
Next up is Molly Farrell Orlando. Unfortunately, Molly couldn't make it here this evening as she resides in Colorado, but Molly would like to thank the Hall of Fame committee and express how grateful she is for this honor. She was a women's volleyball player from 1993 to 95, SLIAC Newcomer of the Year in 1993, first team all-conference SLIAC in 1993, 94, and 95. Despite only playing 3 years, she is the Webster career leader in attack percentage, Webster single season leader in attack percentage and points per block, points per set, blocks per set, and points per set. Webster's career top 5 in 8 different categories. Former SID Neil DeBasto, who witnessed many Gorlock greats, states, Molly led the transformation of the volleyball program and was a major part of Webster's first SLIAC tournament and title wins. I saw Molly play and she was the real deal. She was first team all-Metro player from Duchesne High School, the same Metro team that included Kristen Fogle, a 4-time All-American at Stanford and one of the top volleyball players of all time. As I recall, Molly was offered a Division I scholarship to the University of Alabama, Birmingham, but didn't care for the play-to-pay scene and chose Webster for the Division III values. Molly was the most dominant frontline player I ever saw play for the Gorlocks, end quote. Molly has a Bachelor of Arts from 1996, an RN in nursing. She is an owner of Building Blocks Nurse Consulting LLC, and she's also a singer and recording artist. We will forward the Hall of Fame plaque to Molly. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Molly Farrell Orlando.
Thanks, Mary. Boy, we're keeping Marty Tope busy tonight. Our next Hall of Fame inductee, Alex Fritz, and Coach Marty Tope, please join us up here. Alex Fritz. He was a member of the men's soccer team 1996 through 1999. He is a SLIAC All-Conference Honorable Mention in both 97 and 1998. He is a 3-time captain, 1997 through 99. Team wins, SLIAC record, 26-5-3, obviously a great season. He helped lead the 5th-ranked defense in the entire nation in 1999. He was the Inspiration Award winner, 95-96. And he gave back, served as the Gorlock's assistant men's soccer coach for 11 seasons, so he had a total of 15 years with Webster University. Webster advanced to the NCAA tournament 5 times in Alex's 15 years as a player and coach. Alex's coach, Marty Todt, says, Alex finished his 4-year career at Webster as a 3-year captain, leading the 1999 team to the first NCAA tournament, finishing as the 5th best defensive team in the nation. One of Alex's qualities that was his ability to lead. After going through 2 knee surgeries on the same knee, he didn't complain or become negative. He pushed himself to become the best version of himself, providing a positive example for his teammates. After representing Webster as a student athlete, Alex decided to give back to Webster and assisted me coaching teams for 11 years while working full-time and raising a family. The influence and leadership he provided gave each member of our teams the understanding that our goal was to be the best team we could possibly be. It was an honor to have coached Alex as a player, to have coached with him, but most importantly to call him my friend, end quote. Alex earned a BA in administration from Webster in 1999. He earned his MBA at Missouri Baptist University. He is currently Director of Sales for Bellamed Inc., and he resides in the Isle of Palm, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alex Fritz.
Okay. Usually when I'm holding a microphone, I sing John Denver karaoke, so hopefully I won't forget why I'm up here this evening. First of all, I want to thank Scott and Mary and Amy, who's not with us tonight, for all the wonderful planning that's gone into this evening. It's clearly a first-class event. I'm really proud to be a part of it, so thank you. I'd also like to thank all the attendees that are here this evening. Certainly the ones who are at the basketball game today, and the ones who are here tonight, in particular for me, my sister, and my nieces and nephew, my mother-in-law Sharon, and those 4 in the motley crew over there are part of my wedding party. So thanks for coming, guys. And of course, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me for this honor. I don't know who's on the committee. It seems a little soccer heavy right now. So thank you for selecting 2 of us tonight. And of course, I want to congratulate tonight's other Hall of Fame inductees, Jeff, Paul, Molly, who can't be here, of course, and Scott. Congratulations. It's very proud to go into the Hall with you tonight. Amazing achievements, both as student athletes here at Webster and now in life, and it's just it's quite an honor. So I've got a few things I want to cover this evening. I apologize, and if one thing we can learn from Mrs. McIntyre, she gave her entire speech without referring to her note card. So the rest of us have to be a little better at that. So another pioneer and another thing. A few things I want to cover tonight, of course, is first of all why I chose Webster to begin with. Secondly, I'll say a few words on my playing career here, and then certainly encapsulated with my coaching career. So just to get started with why I chose Webster. In high school, I received a handwritten letter. It was signed by Marty Todt. Remember, the letter was written in all capitals. And the penmanship was excellent. The letter told me a bit about Webster and the soccer program. But the one thing that jumped off the page was, in quotes now, at Webster, you'll have the opportunity to play immediately. The opportunity to play immediately. After a high school career in which I went from playing in the state championship my sophomore year and then choosing not to play my senior year, I was ready for that opportunity again. I also knew, realistically, that college soccer was going to be the pinnacle of my playing career. So I wanted a chance to play every game for all 4 years. More importantly, I knew that to play locally at Webster meant that my mom and dad, Wayne and Natalie Fritz, could likely see me play in almost every game. They'd sacrificed so much for me for so long that I wanted to give them the best years of my playing career. Of course, I don't think they missed more than a few games in my college career, and my dad even flew to London when I studied abroad at Regents College to watch me play there. Mom and Dad, watching online now from Charleston, South Carolina, thank you for the way you raised me and continue to support, encourage, and challenge me. 100% of the reason I'm standing here tonight as a Hall of Fame inductee is because of you. You've given me the courage and strength to be, given me the love as a kid and continue to give me the love as a man from a family of my own now. The soccer games for me are over, but it's great to see you on the sidelines today watching my kids play, supporting and encouraging them. I love you guys, and again, thank you for everything. I want to get back to that recruiting letter. I later discovered that Luigi actually wrote the letter. and he signed those letters for Marty. In fact, in truth, if Marty had written that letter, it would have been cursive. It would have been illegible. I probably would have tossed it deciding on font line. So, Luigi, thank you for sending me that. All right, everything I want to say about the playing years here at Webster could go on for hours and hours, so of course I won't do that to you. So I'm going to get some of the highlights from that senior season especially. And honestly, talk about coming along at the right time for Gorlock Athletics. I think the mid to late 90s was a bit of a renaissance for Gorlock Athletics here. We saw our first NCAA tournament appearance on a team that my wife was actually on with the Spring 98 softball team. And then, of course, Paul's team in 99, 2000. And in the fall of 99, we achieved NCAA tournament status with men's soccer. You go down to the gym now, and there's dates and years and banners everywhere from multiple programs, and it's really impressive to see the tradition that's become Gorlock Athletics. Getting started with 99 was pretty exceptional. Like Paul's team went to Hawaii courtesy of Lance. We got to go to the Netherlands courtesy of the athletic department. I don't know what that thing ran, but cost-wise, and I think one more team got to go to Europe after that, Luigi's women's team. But man, we had an absolute blast. But more than anything, it gave us the focus and brought us back as a true team. And we had such a head start on the rest of the conference that it led to an undefeated season and our first tournament appearance. There's lots of stories I could tell from that Netherlands trip. I know seniors here. And since he's still gainfully employed by Webster, I won't tell any of those. I don't want to forfeits his job here. Coming back for the regular season, Marty and Luigi were even able to relax a little bit, and they gave us our mantra for that year, which was enjoy it. It's a mantra that I still use today in life with my coworkers, my teams that I coach, and my kids and my family. They'll hear me say, "Yeah, let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy it." It goes by so fast, right? And we just have to enjoy it. So that's what we did in '99. The tournament became a dream for us. It became a reality, and even though we didn't foresee it, part of the dream being a first-round exit at Francis Field to our foes, WashU, on a blown call, I believe. Terrible. Yeah, you were there. Yeah. We should have been playing. We should still be playing probably. Roaming the countryside. So I still consider that '99 team, and I think most of you would consider it that have been involved in the program one of the best men's soccer teams ever assembled here at Webster. I will say that when I look back at the schedule from that season, I can remember moments from each match, and I think that equates to me having truly enjoyed it. Following my senior season, Marty asked me to join his coaching staff. Little did I know that this is where I'd actually learn the true nuances of the game of soccer. For anyone that's played and then coached, you know that having played the sport doesn't necessarily qualify you to coach it. I learned from Marty that there is a cadence and a timing to everything in coaching, but passion drives it all. It's a passion for the sport, for the players, and for the competition of it all. I learned that from Marty you can challenge an individual with a look, a gesture, or a key phrase. I learned you can challenge the full team by a well-timed verbal assault in the locker room. You can only do so many of those a season. That was the other thing I learned. Hey, we only got 2 of these, we can do it. It's not going to work anymore. You can also influence the team with a key substitution or by having players swap positions. Then there's what no one ever really sees, right? It's countless hours that go into recruiting for the right players for the program. The countless hours of standing in the dark parking lot long after the game has ended to dissect the loss, the moment of player injury, or strategize for the next match. There's the sleepless nights wondering if we're ready for the game tomorrow, or trying to figure out why practice seemed a little bit off despite the thorough planning. Playing years here were phenomenal for me. I earned a degree that's opened doors to professional opportunity. There's that word, opportunity again. I met my wife, Jennifer, a 3-sport athlete here at Webster, and we now have 4 kids together, Owen 10, Nora 8, Iris 6, and Ren 3. I made lifelong friends and traveled through Europe twice because of the programs that Webster University offered me as a student athlete. In addition to these rewarding college years, which is typically all most college graduates get, I was afforded the opportunity to coach alongside someone that I have great respect for and who was willing to teach me the craft of coaching. So while I am being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight, I hope it's understood that I see it more as an honor for those that have given their time to help me along the way. My parents, my wife, Jennifer, thank you for supporting my passion to coach all those years. Marty, Luigi, Brady Hare, who can't be here tonight, Neil DeVasto. My teammates, professors here at Webster I had along the way. Jerry Wilson, who was the athletic trainer when I tore my ACL twice, and she helped me rehab and return to soccer both times. And all the teammates and players I coached during my 15 years as a member of the men's soccer program. Again, thank you.
Next, we're going to honor Scott Spinner. So while they're taking the photo, we can have Scott come on up and Coach Bunch. If you would like to join them, please. Scott was a member of the men's basketball team for Webster from 2003 to 2007. He was SLIAC first team all-conference in 05, second team all-conference in 6 and 7. In 2007, he was also the Webster University Student Athlete of the Year. Webster's career leader in assists, games started, and minutes played. Webster career top 10 in three-pointers, steals, and games played. Webster's 10th highest in career points with 1,133. Coach Bunch states, Scott was the most important recruit for my first year recruiting class at Webster. We lost both of our point guards from the preceding year, and we desperately needed someone that could step in and play immediately. Scott did that and much more. We went 16-9 that first year, which at the time was the second most wins in single season. The next year, we won the conference for the first time in my 3 years, and he was first team all-conference. Then we won it again his senior year. He was a true floor general. He could pass and shoot extremely well and was a very good leader. He was an outstanding student athlete and possessed the type of character that I wanted our young men to have. Scott was one of the main building blocks for the success that we have had here in my 16 years, and I am very thankful that he chose Webster University all those years ago. I, too, am thankful Scott chose it because that meant Crystal chose it. It's just a point. Scott earned a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology in 2007. He went on to earn his Master's of Management. He was the athletic director and men's basketball coach at Lindenwood Belleville from 2009 to 17. He is currently the executive director of Monroe and Randolph County YMCA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Scott Spinner.
Thank you, Mary. I'm really excited to be here tonight. I'll tell you a little story about Crystal. I got the call from Scott when I heard that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he said, you know, usually people are kind of overcome with emotion and have that type of response, and I said, yes! Finally, at our family gatherings, I won't get in trouble about not being in the Hall of Fame. My wife's in the Hall of Fame, and I have two brothers. Every family gathering, they're talking about how I'm not in the Hall of Fame, but my wife is. So this is a great moment for me tonight. I'll tell you real quick how I got to Webster. It was through Crystal. So those that know us know that Crystal and I have been together since the summer of 8th grade. And we made the deal. We'd already been together for about 4 years, and we kind of thought, you know, we're probably going to get married at some point. And made the agreement that I would stay in town if she stayed in town, because she was 1 year younger than me. And best decision we ever made. And I decided to come to Webster, and I'll never forget the phone call from Coach Bunch, and he said, hey, Scott? see, yeah, he said, I think we got a package for you. He said, this is the Scott Spinner package. This is as good as it gets. Okay, I said, let's hear it. So, you know, fortunately I had good academics, and that helped out, and so I chose to come to Webster, and thankfully Crystal followed me, and it's been an amazing experience all the way until now. So very, very happy to be here. I want to thank all of the coaches. I also want to thank Dr. Strobel and Scott because as the leadership has changed here over the years, if you look around the room, the coaches haven't. And I think that's really neat, especially in today's world of college athletics. I love coming back here and I see Coach Bunch, the coach that I played for 14 years ago, and I see Mary, and I see Bill Courage, and I see Mike Senior, and I see Luigi and Marty, and you see all these folks that are still here and still part of this, and that's very rare. I've been part of college athletics for the last 8 years. I can't tell you how rare that is. So we really have something special here, and I look forward to seeing that continue. I want to thank you personally, Coach Bunch. Coach Bunch is genuinely one of the nicest people you will ever meet. He was an outstanding coach, but I really came just because of the man that he is, and I could see that in the recruiting process, and I really appreciated that. And he impacted us players far beyond basketball. The 4 years I played for him, I will tell you this, nice guy, but he was also the type of coach where you hated at times. But the very best coaches, that's what they say. You appreciate him when you're gone. Because he challenged us. He wasn't afraid to challenge us and make us better. And I really appreciate that about him once I was gone. But he's an outstanding coach, and I can't tell you how happy it makes me that he is still here today. I also want to take a moment and thank my family, my mom, my dad. My dad's been my coach since I could dribble basketball, and just very much. I just appreciate everything. He drive me to practice the game, playing on 3 different teams, and I know that that's not easy, especially when there was 3 of us. So I very much appreciate that. My grandma and grandpa are here, and they never missed a game. So I'm so happy that I was able to stay in town. They could come to all the games, and they're still here tonight. And then my wife and 3 daughters that are here mean the world to me. So I just want to thank them for always being there for me and for being there for me here tonight. I want to take a moment and just talk about basketball. Basketball, for me, has been really the one thing that I've truly loved outside of family. And it's always been there for me. And some of my favorite moments in life have come from basketball. My dad put a basketball goal up at both of our houses. And I remember digging the hole to pour the concrete, put the pole up at both of our houses. I remember playing outside with my little brother. We'd be playing, didn't matter if it was sunny, snowy, rainy, hot, cold, we'd be out there playing. And we organized just some of the most legendary park pickup basketball games. I think we were the organizers for about a 20-mile radius. We knew every kid that played basketball anywhere that lived around us. And those are just great memories I have growing up playing basketball. It allowed me to play for state championships and conference championships and national championships, and through those times make lifelong friends with my teammates and my coaches. It allowed me to appreciate our country. My grandpa is here tonight. We joked about it before the ceremony. If you ever attended a game at Webster between 2004 and 2007, you heard someone singing the national anthem, and I mean belting it out. That was my grandpa. And I'd stand there and I'd just hear his voice, and he'd be singing so loud over the music, so proud. And I always just appreciate to this day when I hear the anthem and I think of Grandpa singing. So thank you for that. It allowed me to coach some fantastic young men and make lifelong friendships with them. In some cases, to be a father figure that they didn't have. My oldest daughter took her first steps on a basketball court when we were at the national championship when I was coaching. Just last week, I had a daddy-daughter dance, and I have 2 in school now, and so my dad came with me. So we get home from the dance, and first thing we do, we didn't go inside and hang out. The girls still have their dresses on. We're playing 2-on-2 in the garage. And it's awesome. So basketball has just provided me with some of the the best memories. And really more than anything else, it allowed me to compete. And that's something it's really special to me, is competition. It's able to give you those feelings that you just don't get in other moments. Maybe you get it when you get married, maybe you get it when your child is born. But when you compete, and you compete at a high level, when your very best is demanded, and you get to play in big games with people that mean the most to you, that gives you more of those feelings, and you remember those moments. And those are the things that I'll never forget. So I'm so thankful for basketball because it gave me more of those moments. To my daughters, I want to say that your daddy is not up here today because he was an outstanding athlete. Your daddy couldn't run the fastest, or jump the highest, or shoot the best. But I did show up every day to do my job. I was loyal and I didn't quit, even when times were tough. And in today's world, as you can see, that sets you apart. I learned that from my dad's example, and he showed me how to do that. My dad has been the coach of just about every basketball team I ever played on until I got to high school. And growing up, it was awesome to have your dad be your coach. He taught me about teamwork, about loyalty, about how to handle winning and losing. He taught me about basketball, and back then that's what I thought he was teaching me, and it wasn't until a lot later that I learned he was teaching me about life and about how to be a father. So Dad, I want to say thank you for that. The last thing that I'd like to ask is a small request of Scott. I don't know what the rules are for the wall downstairs, but my journey here started with Crystal, so I'd love to have my plaque next to hers on the wall. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Scott. Consider Crystal, that will be done. So we'll get that going. While Scott's getting his photo taken, I want to thank Mary for helping MC this evening. Thank you very much, Mary. You've heard the name Amy quite a bit. Amy Bomarito O'Brien is not with us this evening because she's a new mom of a baby girl as of February 1st. So I know she's watching us streaming here, but I want to thank her for pulling this together. Okay, now we're into the formal induction part of the ceremony. This is part of my job description, and it's one of my favorite parts of being an athletics director. It's a part that I take very, very seriously, to formally induct them into the Hall of Fame. So I would ask Jeff, Paul, Alex, Scott, and Molly from Colorado, if you'll please stand. By the powers vested in me as the athletic director at Webster University, it is indeed a great honor and privilege that I now formally induct you into the Gorlock Athletics Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating our 2018 Webster University Gorlock Hall of Famers. Okay, and in closing, please feel free to hang around. We have more desserts, drinks. We'll also have an opportunity, Andrew and Austin, thank you for the photos, but there'll be opportunities for photos over here as well. And I want to thank Neil, too, and Marion. Congratulations. President Stoll, thank you again for being here this evening. appreciate everybody being here. I think you'll walk away knowing we have some special people that we honor tonight. So thank you again, everybody, and have a great night.
Look at. You want to get a picture?